Today, we're taking a deep look at a protocol that's built from the ground up to do one thing: to surface, structure, and actually value human reasoning. Now, this isn't just another prediction platform. It's a system that's built on a totally different idea of what it means to think when you're facing uncertainty.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we're going to frame the core problem that this whole thing is designed to solve. Then we'll get into the big idea, the conceptual leap that makes the system so different. After that, we'll dive into the technical nitty-gritty, the market mechanics, how truth gets enforced, and this really unique social intelligence layer. And we'll wrap up by zooming out to talk about what a system like this really means for the future.
All right, so let's start with the big problem, the foundational question. Why is it that our most advanced systems for gathering information seem to completely fail when it comes to capturing genuine understanding? And really, it all boils down to this question right here. We've got systems that are great at tracking outcomes, prices, engagement metrics, you name it. But the actual cognitive process, the reasoning behind a belief, it's almost always lost. It's treated like noise, just static in the background, when in reality, it's the most valuable signal there is. Let's break down where things tend to go wrong. You look at prediction markets, and yeah, they give you a price. It's a single number that reflects collective confidence. But it tells you absolutely nothing about why the market thinks that. Then you've got social platforms. They're basically giant engines optimized for clicks and outrage, and they actively distort truth just to get more engagement. And what about our AI systems? Well, they're trained on all this distorted data, so they get really good at mimicking surface patterns, but not the deep structure of what it means to reason well. And the crucial takeaway here is that at every single step, the why just gets thrown away. Okay, so we've laid out the problem. Now, let's talk about the solution. This section is all about the conceptual leap that takes us from just tracking what happens to making the act of reasoning itself a first-class citizen inside a system. And here it is. It's called VoxSigil. The key thing to understand is that this isn't a platform for just guessing. It's a protocol where making a prediction is a deliberate act. It's a formal commitment to a specific model of how you believe reality actually works. So every prediction becomes a testable hypothesis, and the reasoning you provide for it is treated as being just as important as the final outcome. This quote really gets to the core thesis of the whole thing. In this system, reasoning isn't some fuzzy philosophical concept. It's created as structured, incredibly valuable data. But here's the catch. You can't capture that data unless the system is explicitly built from the ground up to recognize it, to store it, and to value it. Most systems out there are designed to discard it. VoxSigil is designed to preserve it. And this comparison just makes the difference crystal clear. Where other systems are optimizing for a simple price or for something to go viral, VoxSigil is optimizing for high-fidelity signal. It doesn't reward blind confidence, it rewards accountable thinking, because it literally ties every belief to a tangible consequence. Nuance doesn't get flattened into a simple like or a vote. Instead, it's made explicit, it's structured, and it's testable. That is the fundamental design difference. So let's get under the hood and look at the actual mechanics of how this all works. Because if you want to capture complex reasoning, you need tools that let you ask really precise and structured questions. VoxSigil gives you a whole library of distinct market types, and each one is designed for a very specific kind of inquiry. So this table gives you a bird's eye view of the toolkit. Let's just walk through them. First, you have the binary market. This is the simplest one for clean, resolvable yes or no statements. It's the foundation. But then things get much more sophisticated with conditional markets. These let you build dependencies, asking questions like, if X happens, then will Y happen? This lets you build complex chains of logic right into the protocol itself. Next up are ladder markets. These are designed for predicting outcomes across a whole range. So instead of just a single binary result, you can forecast the probability of hitting multiple distinct thresholds. Super useful for things like price predictions. Then you've got parlay markets. These let you create atomic, multi-condition bets where several different things must all be true for the market to resolve your way. This is for really high-conviction, high-payout ideas about complex events. After that, ensemble markets handle questions where truth isn't in one place, it's distributed. Here, the resolution isn't a single source, but an aggregation of multiple inputs. And finally, delegation markets treat credibility itself as a liquid asset. You can actually delegate your stake to a forecaster you trust, which is like betting on their judgment. Each of these is a specific tool designed to structure a different kind of thought. Okay, so having a system for reasoning is great, but it's completely useless if you don't have a rigorous way to determine what's true. This part is all about how markets are resolved, how the protocol ensures trust, and how it achieves finality. The whole process is designed to be deterministic and totally transparent. Step 1 is absolutely critical: no ambiguity. Before anyone can even participate, the market has to explicitly state what decides the outcome, when staking stops, and when it will be resolved. Once that market locks, no more positions can be taken. The declared authority then resolves it, strictly following the rules that were agreed upon upfront. There is a brief optional dispute window, but it's not for arguing about the outcome itself. It's only for challenging procedural errors, like if the authority used the wrong data source. After that window closes, the outcome is final. Period. And this whole process is built on a few really important governance principles. First, every outcome has to be resolvable. There are no vibes-based settlements here. Every question has to have a clearly defined, verifiable path to an answer. Second, auditability is more important than authority. Every significant action gets recorded in an immutable log that anyone can check, making sure the system is always accountable to its own rules. And this is really the guarantee that underpins the entire system. Once a market's life cycle is complete and that outcome is settled, it is written into the record permanently. There's no going back, no revisionism. See, the goal isn't to never be wrong. The goal is to create a clean, permanent record so we can actually learn from being wrong. All right, now we get to what might be one of the most unique parts of this protocol. Social interaction isn't just some feature tacked on at the end, it's a core part of the intelligence gathering engine. This is where the reasoning actually becomes visible. So this is how the system actually captures the why. Every single market acts as an anchor for a dedicated discussion around it. Participants can link to evidence, and that evidence can be versioned and cited. Over time, a user's reputation is built not just on whether they were right or wrong, but on the demonstrable quality of their reasoning. In this system, disagreement isn't a problem that needs to be solved. It's actually valuable data that reveals the underlying structure of a debate. Of course, to make reasoning valuable, you have to be able to measure it somehow. And that's where a metric called the Reasoning Quality Score, or RQS, comes in. Now, this isn't some subjective judgment. It's a calculated score based on 5 concrete things. Is the reasoning specific and falsifiable? Is it backed up with evidence? Does it have a logical structure? Is the confidence level stated honestly and well-calibrated? And is it original, not just spam or something copy-pasted? This is how you transform qualitative reasoning into quantitative data. And this is an incredibly important point to make about the role of AI in this system. AI can be used as a tool, sure. It can assist human understanding by, say, summarizing a long debate or clustering similar pieces of evidence. But it has zero authority. AI never resolves markets. AI never overrides governance. AI assists humans. It does not replace them. It is a tool for assistance. That's it. Okay, so we've gone deep into the mechanics, the governance, the social layer. So what? What does all of this actually mean? Let's zoom out and take a look at the bigger picture here, the larger implications of a protocol built like this. Well, when you build a system like this, a few really powerful things suddenly become possible. You get better forecasting, because now you can see why a forecast is what it is, not just the final number. You get cleaner coordination, because communities and organizations can align not just on goals, but on the shared reasoning to get there. It creates an entirely new kind of data set, a high-fidelity record of human thought under pressure, which is just invaluable for research. And this data gives us a much safer, more grounded way to train AI systems that need to understand not just what to do, but why. And that brings us to the most important thing to understand about all of this. VoxSigil isn't just a single application, it's designed to be foundational infrastructure. It's a protocol, a set of rules and tools that a whole new generation of applications requiring structured reasoning can be built on top of. And at the end of the day, these are the core values that are baked right into the system's design. It prioritizes clarity over the illusion of certainty. It chooses accountability over just grabbing attention. And it's built on the idea that you find truth through structure, not through vibes. So this protocol isn't asking for your belief. It's really just extending an invitation to take part in a system that's designed to explore some of our most fundamental questions. How do we actually form our convictions? How does our confidence change when we see new evidence? And is it possible to design a system where truth can reliably emerge, even when it's under pressure?